Welcome to the podcast entitled Health and Wellness Briefs, Tactics for a Better You. I'm Dr. Bernadette Melnyk. I go by Bern. I'm currently Vice President for Health Promotion and Chief Wellness Officer for The Ohio State University. This podcast series is brought to you by my CWO office and wonderful Buckeye Wellness team in order to provide you with evidence-based micro-learning modules to optimize your health and well-being. As gratitude, or what I call vitamin G, is one of the simplest strategies to improve mood, sleep, and optimism, as well as reduce stress and blood pressure. I want you to take a few seconds and think about who or what you're grateful for today. We will start each podcast by taking a dose of vitamin G. Today's topic is preventing and managing burnout. Burnout typically results from chronic workplace stress and results in emotional, mental, or physical exhaustion. There are 3 dimensions of burnout. 1, sustained feelings of exhaustion, where people feel a loss of their energy, depletion, fatigue, and feeling overextended. 2, professional inefficiency. That's where you have reduced feelings of accomplishment or productivity. The 3rd is depersonalization or detachment from the job, where you have withdrawal. You're distancing mentally from your job, and you're developing feelings of negativism and cynicism related to your job. During the pandemic, feelings of burnout, exhaustion really soared in workers. It's still very high. Yes, many as 50 to up to 70% of workers in certain studies. There are several causes of burnout, including work overload, lack of control over being able to make decisions, insufficient recognition or reward, fairness, relationships, and values conflict. Burnout and depression can overlap. They share these feelings of exhaustion, feeling down, and decrease in performance. However, with depression, people also have low self-esteem, feelings of hopelessness, or even thinking about suicide. If by chance you have symptoms that are interfering with your functioning, by all means, please get help. Recognizing when we need help is a strength, not a weakness. And please always make sure you know the suicide crisis hotline number, and that is 988. When you can talk to a mental health professional anonymously 24 hours a day if you need it. Well, let's take a few seconds to answer this question. Based on your definition of burnout, how would you rate your level of burnout right now? Possible answers are: 1, I enjoy my work. I have no symptoms of burnout. 2, occasionally I am under stress and I don't always have as much energy as I once did, but I don't feel burnt out. 3, I am definitely burning out and I have one or more symptoms of burnout, such as physical and emotional exhaustion. 4, the symptoms of burnout that I'm experiencing won't go away. I think about frustration at work a lot. 5, I feel completely burnt out and often wonder if I can go on. I'm at the point where I may need some changes or may need to seek some sort of help. If you answered 1 or 2, I'm really giving you a lot of encouragement. I think you're probably taking time for some good self-care. You're still engaging with things that bring you meaning and joy. And you're probably aligned with your dreams, your purpose, or passion. If you answered 3, 4, or 5, that's a red flag. Please don't hesitate to face your true story and make a commitment that you're going to start doing something a little differently. Maybe prioritizing your own self-care a little bit more. I'm going to finish this podcast today by outlining some key strategies to prevent burnout. The biggest is practice good self-care. It is not selfish. When we get on a plane and the oxygen mask drop, we are told, put them on yourself first before you put them on your children. Self-care is not a nicety. It is a necessity. It is not selfish. It is foundational to taking good care of our families, to doing a good job at work. We've got to schedule it in as we schedule in anything else into our busy lives. Be aware of the signs. If you start to experience chronic fatigue, exhaustion, reduced feelings of empathy, irritability, anger, difficulty making decisions, starting to get cynical about work, please face that true story and get some help. Again, Recognizing when we need help is definitely a strength, not a weakness. We also have to set emotional boundaries. We have to learn to say no without guilt. Worry about the future, guilt about the past are the two most wasted emotions. Learning how to stay in the present moment is so key. We've got to schedule in activities that bring us joy or meaning, just like we schedule anything else. It's important to cultivate relationships outside of work. People are really lonely in this post-pandemic era. It is important to stay connected to our friends and our families. We need to develop and continue to develop positive coping strategies and mental resiliency, like cognitive behavior skills building, mindfulness, deep abdominal breathing, and engage in helpful strategies and evidence-based programs at work. Take regular breaks. Check in with your people. Wellness checks, asking them, are you okay today? Or get a health coach. They can be so instrumental in helping us to make or break wonderful habits. I'm going to end by just saying, remember, it's a strength to recognize when we're burning out. Take action. Don't wait until you're super burnt out and it's interfering with your functioning, concentration, or judgment. Thank you for tuning in to Health and Wellness Briefs today. Tune in to other podcasts in this series to learn more evidence-based tips for a healthier you.